And we're live. Hello and welcome to the 110th episode of HEX Therapy Live. I'm your host, Maddie ALLin. I've got a great show for you tonight. It's going to be half an hour long, and we're going to talk about the 6 reasons why I'm all in HEX. Now, I am hosting the HEX conference starting tomorrow. It's going to be 4 nights. I'll also tell you about that during this stream. To start off, let's go with the intro. Hit the like and subscribe button. Thanks for being here.
It's from Maddie ALLin of HexTherapy.live. I like Maddie. Maddie tries to make the world a healthier place. He's a mental health professional. He's done research.
Big videos on sudden wealth syndrome.
There's nothing that a human being could do better than try and heal his fellow man.
Maddie ALLin's got that covered. Does emotional, feel-good, mind management, emotion stuff like as his gig because he's a therapist. That's what he does for a living. Like he helps heal people.
All right. So as promised, there are 6 reasons that I can give for the reason why I'm all in HEX. And when I say all in HEX, it's not just the name that I use, but it's also a philosophy on my investment thesis. Basically, I got into cryptocurrency because of Bitcoin and because I thought that digital scarcity is really cool. I used to be interested in gold for a similar reason of understanding the economics and scarcity there. And so, sure enough, once I realized that I could get HEX as a free claim for the Bitcoin that I had, that's what got me into HEX, and HEX has done really, really well. I'm very thankful to have time locked 99% of my HEX, 98 or 99%. And that's it gives me a lot of hope for the future. And so the number one reason why I'm all in HEX is that I believe that crypto is the future. I believe that crypto is inevitable. I believe that the payment systems that we have currently and the banking system, it's outdated. It already operates in a digital way that just isn't very advantageous to people. With inflation, with credit card fraud, with all the things that matter so much to people, that money is scarce, but technology keeps making things more abundant. And so I believe that financial technology is no different. So I really think that cryptocurrency is inevitable. And I've heard that argument from a lot of people because humans are meant these days to interact in not just analog ways, not just in the real world, but in a hybrid fashion, both with people in real life and digitally. And being able to transfer value to anyone in the world, it allows people to have business and thrive and be motivated to deliver goods and services digitally as well. So crypto is the future, number one reason. Number 2 reason that I'm all in HEX has to do with time locking. That's the store of value property of money. And so if you Wikipedia, what are even the functions of money? You're going to see that it's a unit of exchange. Sorry, it's a medium of exchange. It's a unit of account. And it's a store of value. And these are all things that are very different, but the store of value part is where holding something over time, it only makes sense if what you're holding has good economic rules around it. And so with HEX, having the economics baked into a smart contract and have so much social consensus around it, like Bitcoin does, and having ways to prevent double spends and to actually give digital money value by holding it and being incentivized to hold it, it's that's exactly what money is supposed to be when it comes to storing value over time. So, it's kind of esoteric to think about what is money in the first place, but that's what it comes down to. Is money is where you're storing your economic energy over time. Whatever goods or services that you've sold that you want that you want to access in the future, you want your purchasing power to remain. And the dollar is a pretty good store of value compared to everything else, but fiat systems in general, they debase over time, and usually about every 7 to 15 years, the purchasing power of your savings drops in half. Another way to put that is the price of everything you want to buy typically doubles every 7 to 15 years, not because it takes more effort to make, but because so much effort is being wasted by the government, basically, or whoever is printing the money, the Fed or the banks or whatever. So you can Wikipedia what are the properties of money, and you can learn to understand a little bit better what the store of value function is. So, and that's a really fascinating part of economics and everything is understanding what is money. And I'll say it, there are even some Bitcoiners who have some great lessons to teach and great information. I would include Robert Breedlove in that group, and as well as Safedine Amoose. But I typically go off of what they've said a couple of years, 2 to 4 years in the past, instead of what they're saying now, because they haven't really evolved since then, in my opinion. Shout out to everybody in the chat. Thanks for being here. Jimmer at Crypto, good to see you, my friend. Umberto Gonzalez, hey, thanks for saying that you're praying for my full recovery. Yeah, I was in a serious car accident. Yeah, happy New Year to everybody. What's up, B Rockstar? Good to see you, my friend. Speaking of IRL, Shifty Sheep, we're almost live. That's right. Thanks, Maddie, for all you do. My pleasure. Brissology, good to see you in the chat. Academaciated, probably from academia. Good evening. Hey, Ash, welcome back to the fold. Lazy Hexagon, I'm pumped to do the dishes now. Well, there you go. That's all you needed, was to get pumped to do the dishes. Hex Fetty, Matt in Bali, abit _ Hex. It's good to see everybody. Scott, Islands Life. All right. Well, this, like I said, Russ, Hex Monkey, Crypto, Khalil. So I'm going to keep this episode 25-30 minutes because I have to get to the green screen room to do testing for all the people who are speaking at the HEX conference coming up tomorrow. And if you're a speaker, you're encouraged to test out your equipment. You can see I got my lighting and green screen and microphone and camera all set up, especially for this one. Back to the list. What are the 6 reasons that I'm all in HEX? Number 3, I've studied HEX tirelessly for 3 years. Do your own research, not financial advice. So when I say I've studied HEX tirelessly for 3 years, what I mean is, you could ask me anything about it, and odds are I've thought about it. And, having streamed now, tonight is 110 weeks that I've streamed every Thursday night. And on average, my streams over all that time have typically been about an hour and a half to 2 hours long on Thursday nights, on Tuesday nights when I have my other show, it's been, the average has probably been 3 or 4 hours. So the volume of conversations that I've had with people, the number of questions I've asked, really tell me a lot. I wouldn't say that I know everything about HEX. I couldn't, just like reproduce all the code off the top of my head or something. But I can tell you my favorite line of code in the HEX smart contract is line 718. And that's because it says exactly what the longest time period is to be able to time lock your HEX, and that's 5,555 days. And if you look, that's the only mention of 5555 in the HEX smart contract. So I've done my research, and it's time for you to do yours. That's part of the reason why I'm bringing you the HEX conference for the 3rd year in a row, is because it becomes a pretty good mini course in all things HEX. And so, it's really exciting. This year, we're going to have 69 speakers, most of whom have their own YouTube channels and are out there educating people about HEX. Number 4, reason why I'm all in HEX. Probably kind of fits with reason number 3. I have friends who understand the code. I believe that I can spot a scam. It's something that the crypto space is filled with, and it's something that HEX is not. HEX is not a scam. HEX is not a security. Like, we can have all the arguments we need to in order to make that clear to everybody. And we do. When you look at Richard Hart on the day HEX launched, he did a 6-hour stream with Tone Vase, a popular Bitcoiner. And there were 2 or 3 lawyers that hopped on that stream, and they talked out like all the nuances of what it is, of why HEX is not a security, why you would reasonably make that argument. And so, I was just re-listening to that the other day, and it teaches me a lot about how he tests, about the law, about the family resemblance test, like yada, yada, so on and so forth. So number 5 reason why I'm all in HEX. The rest of crypto doesn't understand HEX yet. In general, most of the world doesn't understand HEX yet. Obviously the people outside of crypto don't understand it, but I think that there's a lot of opportunity there, because the longer it exists and the more time our community permeates Twitter, permeates crypto YouTube, the longer we remain a strong part of the conversation, that's going to matter. And if you think about each person in HEX who volunteers to get the word out one way or another, some people put up yard signs, some people hand out stickers and magnets, some people send postcards, others stream on YouTube and just never planned on it. Sometimes people just get started posting on Twitter. People make art, people make clothing. I mean, there's so many ways that people get the word out about HEX, and a lot of those people are time locked for an average of 6.5 years of the over 100,000 people that have time locked HEX. So that becomes a really strong decentralized marketing engine. And my opinion is, whenever anybody has a bag of something that's big enough, then they might be motivated to tell other people about it, because maybe they're financially free, or maybe that's how they choose to use their time and their free speech. But when it comes to Bitcoin, people can always sell it all. And when it comes to HEX, people can time lock it, and then it can become more valuable over time. And then you end up getting people who might be more committed to getting the word out because they're more hardcore in the first place. They've already decided that they're not going to sell for a longer period of time. And Hexicans are the number one educators and broadcasters when it comes to Hex. It's not the founder. It's not a team of people who are paid. It's us, the community. And the rest of crypto, they don't understand that yet, but we're gonna keep speaking up until maybe they will choose to understand it at some point. Maybe they'll see how strong the community is. Maybe they'll participate in the 4th or the 5th or the 6th Hex conference, you know? Again, it goes back to the inevitability of things that are built to last, of things that people, that are sometimes difficult to understand at first. Bitcoin was difficult to understand at first. People didn't realize the significance of digital scarcity. If they did, they would have bought Bitcoin back then. I mean, when I heard about Bitcoin for the first time, when it was several $100s, maybe $500, I didn't really care that much. And it was only a matter of time before I did. For me, it was when the price of 1 Bitcoin passed the price of 1 ounce of gold. And I said, oh shit, I have to pay attention to this now, whether I like it or not. And I liked it. So good news. So the number 5 point of why I'm all in Hex is the rest of crypto doesn't understand it yet. And that means there's still opportunity. So let me check back in with the chat, and then eventually we'll get to the final reason. I know there's like so much suspense built up. So if you're enjoying the stream, hit the like and subscribe button, hit the share button, get the word out there. I can also go over the Hex conference stuff again. Great conference lineup, says Whiskey Drinker. Thank you. Please get 300 more speakers, says Russ. Well, I'm working on it just as much as you are. So, or more. The secret sauce, says Hex Monkey, one of them anyway, is still the always increasing share price and the implications of that. I still interact with folks who say, I'll stake short, then restake, thinking that they'll get the same result. So the teaching never stops. That's right. Basically, the majority of the returns that come from an exponentially appreciating asset are at the end. I mean, even if you go to investor.gov and you play around with the retirement calculators on there, and they'll show you graphs, it's not a linear process of earning a particular interest rate, what you'll earn over time. The line goes up harder and faster the longer out you get. So yeah, being able to time lock with Hex for so long, and with cryptocurrency, that highest appreciating asset in all of human history, that's a pretty big deal. And I will not I'll not stop saying this point. Satoshi programmed into Bitcoin a time locking mechanism, but never popularized it. Guess what? We're popularizing it more than he did, he or she. Congratulations to everyone here in the bear market. You are going to make it, says Scott V. Looking good, Maddie. Enjoy the ride. Hey, thanks, Gab. Russ has reconsidered and says the 69 planned speakers will be amazing. I'm so glad you're accepting it. What's up, everyone? Says Handyman. I hope you all had a great New Year. Cheers. Pulse X and Hex are my biggest bags by far, and will be the entire bull market. There you go. What's up, Uncle Larry? We stick together like no other crypto community. You can lead a horse to water, but you can't make him drink it. No expectations, says Dan Smith. But do you think it's reasonable to anticipate some news on progress from RH during the keynote? Well, I saw people being really, 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 really nice to Richard the last time he updated on Pulse Chain and Pulse X on Twitter. And I'm pretty sure that matters. Because before he had said that he was so annoyed with people being mean and nasty, that he didn't want to give updates anymore. So what I've agreed, I said this on Furu Finance's stream earlier today. What I've agreed is I will ask Richard for any Easter egg he wants to give. That's my favorite question to ask Richard. And also Dan Smith, another thing I would like to point out is I used the testnet just the other day and I was blown away. It was looking really good. And I know a lot of people, they're considering the fact that like, oh, we have to wait for testnet version 3 and yada, yada. Well, I think from the public information I've seen that, that the reason why we need a V3 so that Solidity can handle bigger numbers than Ethereum has, that's not really going to be on the user interface side. So while people who are checking the code are going to care about that, and while, while there are some things that are different about Ethereum version 2.0, it's not on the user interface side at all. So when you go and use the testnet, and for me, it was better than ever. It was really smooth UI. I really liked it. That's what we're gonna see. So it's a waiting game, but it's also exciting to see. I hadn't remembered that that the testnet was so far along compared to where it is now. So I think that's been coming along. Hex is in discovery mode this cycle. It will be a beast. I hope so. I never like in the past when Hex just kept going up and kept going up and kept going up, I was in shock for sure. That was the mood, was like shock at how high and fast it could go. Yeah. Nice pump today. Sign of good things to come. I hope so. Hi, everyone. Great to be here. Great to have you. Vets in crypto. Bang, bang. Any updates on the movie? Richard tweeted just the other day. He said, hey, does anybody know what's going on with Netflix? Like, well, he was asking who had connections up top at Netflix. And several people, at least 2 or 3 I saw, said that they did have connections there. So that seems like an update. Acquired 4 T-shares last night before the pump. Good for you, Hexivore. What's up, Augie? Okay, so I've created so much suspense, I know, because I ran through the 6 reasons I'm all in Hex. And if you're enjoying this, please hit the like button. Number 1, crypto is the future. It's inevitable. Number 2, and these are my reasons, time locking is the essence of a store of value function of money. And that's, in my opinion, the most important function of money if we're breaking it down. I mean, you can't really have money without medium of exchange. You can't have money without a unit of account, I would say, because lots of monies exist and there's only one unit of account usually. So yeah, that's store of value is like, why didn't that get programmed into crypto originally from the get-go? Well, it did. Nobody used it though, because everybody's a greedy trader, except for in Hex, where we have the truth engine. So You know, like I said earlier in the program, Satoshi did program in a time locking feature in Bitcoin. I'm not sure if it's still in the code, but it was in the code. I think it still is. Yeah. So, you know, that's a thing. It just wasn't ever popularized until HEX, which is technically a fork of Bitcoin because it's a UTXO fork, which is where basically you had a free claim that you could do. All right. Reason number 3, I studied HEX tirelessly for 3 years, and you should do your own research too. Number 4, I have friends who understand the code and I can spot a scam. Number 5, the rest of crypto doesn't understand HEX yet. And number 6, for the 6 reasons why I'm all in HEX, this community rocks. And I have proof. So here's the proof. Here is the updated HEX conference schedule. Oh, it's so beautiful. I can't believe I made this. So starting tomorrow night, Friday at 7 p.m., we are going to have Crypto Coffee, Crispy Man, Hex Monkey, and Mark Wild on the first panel for an hour. Then in the next hour, there will be 18 different speakers, and they'll each go for 3 minutes. And that's going to be an amazing rapid round that'll happen in the second hour. In the third hour, we have Alex from Hedron. We have Dev RTH. Then we have a tutorial from Fashion Coder and a tutorial from Crypto Coffee. In the fourth hour, Kinetics will kick off the first half an hour of the keynote. And then, can people see this? I guess people are just listening. Part 2 is Johnny Chaos. That's an update that you haven't heard before. And then there's a 9-speaker social that's where everybody will be on screen at the same time. And that's going to be Timothy Benjamin, Serena Alonzi, UFO, Cosmo Jenkins, Dylan, Diraj, Dan Canada, Klaz, and Freddie Quotes. And now earlier, right, in hour 2, I've got people listed right here. That's going to be Timothy Benjamin, Caitlin, Hexakin Lindsay, Thoth's Child, Freddie Quotes, Ray Speak More, Crypto King, Hex Ninja, Gen Hex. You're all in the first half an hour. So you're going to, everybody who's speaking shows up a half an hour early. Super important to test and to get ready to go on screen. And this is going to be the toughest panel to go through because Sticker Guy is going to have to teach everybody how to get their lighting right and their green screen working. Everybody has to have their green screen on. So the second half of that like record-setting marathon is going to be Georgia Carrera, Vibra Finance, War Ants, DJ Pollywood, The Real Hollow, Unplugged Dad, ATX Crypt, Corey Greery with a guest, and Brissology. So everybody will get 3 minutes to give their testimonial for that section. And people go one at a time. I'll be on screen with you if you want, or you can do it solo. And then day 2, Saturday, we've got a great panel with Hodprol, A Wild SJ, Fashion Coder, and Jory. Then the second hour is Tantanomini from Maximus DAO. I'll do a tutorial on Time Pays Me. You'll get your updates there. And then Papa B will speak on security. Then look at this panel here discussing HEX will be Big Kurkowski, Cabana Crypto, Dollar Cost Crypto, and Toby One Hex Obi. Puts a smile on my face. This is impressive. Ebit and Patrick, they have been presenting their Power of T-Shares presentation every year since the first HEX conference. They did a keynote. And so they will be presenting data in collaboration with Crispy Man from HexFire.io, who has the most comprehensive open source way to get the data off the blockchain in HEX. Then after they give their hour-long keynote as a team, then it'll be the day 2 social with 9 Hexicans on the screen at the same time. We got DJ Cryptomatic, Luther Hex, Casey the Hexican, Ben Sierra Pro, Finbear, Steve Hitson, Gen Hex, Brissology, and Marco the Hexakin. Yo, so excited. Marco used to come on the Tuesday night show regularly. Now on day 3, we're going to be kicking it off with Crypto 7, bringing the energy. We're going to have Nerd Girl, and then we're going to have Randy Hilarski. I love all 3 of them. Hour 2, also discussing Hex in their own awesome way. It's going to be Crypto Heartbeat, Rags to Riches, Ashley Ash, and KG. I think there's going to be a great mix of personalities there. I'm excited for that. Then look, there's no greater energy known to man than Kareem. He's going to be on panel 6 with Axis Alive, Hex-Ray Vision, and Gold Key. Again, awesome personalities, brilliant minds. They're all coming together. In hour 4, that's going to be the keynote from Aubrey de Grey, who is going to tell us about his foundation that split off Ascends, Longevity Escape Velocity Foundation. And I also know he's going to be updating us on where some of the donations have gone into really setting us up to have way more information about how to extend our health span. And that's something that you'll see is like, I'm really pushing what I see as a strong connection between people who time lock and who are long-term thinking that are attracted to Hex, and people who want to live longer, healthier lives, like in the longevity community. So there's tons of synergy there. I've seen it when I went to the Bitcoin conference and got to meet the other founder of a big longevity foundation, the Methuselah Foundation, which is where the Sens Foundation split off of, and they were both founded by Aubrey de Grey as well. So yeah, it's just really amazing to be able to connect with so many of these major players in the industry, and to bring health into it. I think that's part of achieving wealth and being patient and all these things, self-improvement, delayed gratification, you know, that's a big part of why this community means so much to me as well. I've seen a lot of people change their lives as a therapist. I've helped hundreds of people overcome addiction. Now, this is a higher purpose of helping people to change their saving behavior, because I believe that that changes a lot of other behaviors too. It changes your environment when you have a healthier relationship with money. It's a big reason why I like Hex so much, why I like this community, and why this community is the number 6 reason I'm all in Hex. Social number 3, all 9 speakers are on for 60 minutes. Korean investor, Hexiest man, Kincaid Honey is Hex to USD. Respect for the brand name. Real Matty Crypto, RH Maximalist, A Wild SJ, Cosmic Cowboy, Hex Mac, and Sticker Guy Win. Now, you all know Sticker Guy Win is my manager of the backstage, and he's taking care of everything so that we have a smooth conference. And I can't thank him enough for that. And that's obviously going to be an amazing social, just like each of these has been well crafted for the right personalities. The final day of the conference is Monday evening, and we're starting off with an awesome panel of Corey Costa, Furu Finance, Ben Dubard, and again, RH Max. So that's going to be an amazing panel of really valuable streamers to our community. Let's see. And then, wow, we got 3 amazing talks here with Steph from Staker App, Tangent, Hex Tangent, who is amazing, and K for K Crypto. So those are some of the most powerful and profound streamers and innovators and builders and educators and all the things that they do. So that's all leading up to my interview with Richard Hart for the first hour of him being on screen. The second hour will be him giving a keynote. And the third hour is the RH Spotlight with 9 Hexicans. And I certainly intended this segment, as it was so successful in the past. I wanted to make it an opportunity to recognize people who I think have gone way above and beyond in their volunteerism, and to honor the members of the community who have done so well. Because it's kind of cool getting to meet the founder of the thing that you like so much. It would be like if somebody who liked Michael Jordan and the Bulls got to meet, what was his name? Phil. Anyway, terrible example because I can't think of it. It'd be like if you got to meet Steve Jobs, or have like a phone call with him, or a video conference. So anyway, we got on panel 9, we'll do one at a time for 6 minutes. Papa B, Crispy Man, Crypto Coffee, Hex Ray Vision, Big Kirkowski, Hex Monkey, Huddle Dog, Johnny Chaos, and Sticker Guy Win. Phil Jackson, that's right. My bad. I had a brain freeze. Thank you, chat. Awesome. So I know that there's tons of people watching right now, but I gotta go to the green screen room for the HEX conference to help people with their lighting and green screens and everything, so that we can have an amazing conference. The 6 reasons why I'm all in HEX, it includes the fact that this community is so amazing. And so that's my 6th point. And here's the schedule once more. So tune in for the HEX conference. It's going to be really amazing, as always. Possible. With that being said, stake wisely, my friends, and peace out.
It's from Maddie ALLin of HexTherapy.live. I like Maddie. Maddie tries to make the world a healthier place. He's a mental health professional. He's done research.
Big videos on sudden wealth syndrome.
There's nothing that a human being can do better than try and heal his fellow man.
Maddie ALLin's got that covered. Does emotional, feel-good, mind management, emotion stuff, like, as his gig, because he's a therapist. That's what he does for a living. Like, he helps heal people.